Ladies, gentlemen, Speaker Red Squad, what's going on? Sorry about all that chaos.
Cool. Full face cam still doesn't want to work. Chat, that's what I was just trying to get working for the past 10 minutes. And now it doesn't want to work again. See, I think it's a combination. See, before it was just my camera, but now I think my cable for my cam link is going out. So hold on, give me another like minute or so. Sorry, I didn't mean to pop in your guys' ear. I thought I clicked that earlier because I like restarted my PC. Thank you for pointing that out, username. Because yeah, I thought I definitely clicked that earlier, unless something bumped it and turned it off. But hi, see, as I was saying, but you guys couldn't hear, super scuffed stream. My camera cable or whatever didn't want to work, and I was muted. But we're here now. Apologies about this super scuffedness tonight. But as I was saying, well, muted, we're gonna go over all the patch notes stuff right away. So we'll get into that, Nightmare. Also, hello, Nightmare, Darren, and username. And then also very nice for both Nightmare and Darren for both your pals and everything with the passive skills. That's very nice. I know how much of a pain that can be. Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, like I always say, I'm not a professional streamer. I'm not even a professional content creator in general, like for YouTube or anything. So, like I even tell other people, so content creation I'm trying to actually make into like maybe like a future career maybe. That'd be kind of neat. But streaming and stuff is like 100% just like hobby. So all of this is like more or less just because I feel like doing it. It's like I could not stream at all in my channel, would probably be fine, but I do it for you guys because I like hanging out with you guys. But yeah, we're gonna discuss the stream, or not the stream, we're gonna discuss the patch notes because that kind of sucks with everything that's kind of happening. But yeah, I do want to go over the patch notes and everything, since I mean it's not a lot to go over, but I do want to kind of discuss things that might potentially happen in the future considering what happened with this update. So we'll see how things go, but once again, we'll get into things here in a sec. But we'll say I built 3 of your bases and have been enjoying them. That's good to hear, Darren. See, funny enough, I was looking through my comments recently, and I don't know if it's just like a console thing or something, but like I have some people sometimes saying that like they can't build my structures and like they need supports and stuff, and ask how I build stuff without supports, and I'm like, I don't know, I just build it. So like I don't know if I'm just building it in a certain way where there's supports to hold everything up or whatever, but like yeah, I don't do anything crazy or special. I don't do any mods or anything, but yeah, I had some people be like, oh, I can't build your base because I need supports and stuff. And it's like, I will say a lot of people have been having that question about the most recent mega base build, the all-in-one mega base. That's good to hear, Darren, that you haven't had too many issues. But yeah, it's for the all-in-one base, I think I kind of didn't explain it enough of how I actually set that up, because essentially what I did is I built the like 2x2 platform. Then I built like roofs or whatever, like the flat upper floors, ceilings. I put those as far as I could before I ran out of supports, and then I put down support beams, and then I built out from there, and then I built more support beams, and then once I finally got support beams all around the outer area or the outer vicinity of the base, where they are and like shown in the video, I started deleting the interior ones, and I didn't really explain that in the video, and I feel like some people got a bit confused by that. But then again, I also kind of like highly advise not building your base the way I did in that video. Like I suggest honestly lowering it all by 1 level, because I just felt like seeing if I could do an all-in-one base on a 2x2 platform. But I'm also not expecting most players to kind of build a base like that. I just did that because I thought it'd be fun. Yeah, like I said, I would just say if you're gonna build the all-in-one base, just literally the like 2x2 platform it's like sitting on, just delete it. Like just being like 100% transparent, I would delete it, because if I didn't have to literally delete the entire base and lower, like shift the whole base down by 1 level, which would be such a pain, I would literally just have the base flat. But like I said, it was more of just a funsy thing to see if I could do it. Just kind of spice things up, you know? But yeah, I would just say, Darren, if you're planning on building the all-in-one base, just take that like first layer where like I actually built all the stuff, not the one where the PAL box is on, and just make that your like initial main floor out of just like the regular floors, and you should have way less issues if you're having any. But luckily this base isn't gonna have issues, the skill fruit one, because I will say I did the classic streamer thing. Hi Garth, how's it going? I'll read your message in a sec. I just want to finish my tangent. I did the classic streamer thing, where I did a little building off stream. Essentially I just I like copy and pasted the second floor like a few more times, and then I built a little bit more on top. But like I didn't actually do any like interior stuff. I did build a garden outside, which I'll go over, but other than that, yeah, for the most part in the actual main building I didn't do any sort of like decorating or anything. It's 2:45 local time here in the UK, and I'm having one of my insomnia nights while getting bored, and boom, here you are. Well, yeah, perfect timing. I knew you were gonna have insomnia, Garf, so I'm like, I'm gonna stream just for you. No, but seriously, welcome to the stream though. Sorry you're having insomnia. I feel that pain. That's usually why, like, I'm not even joking, chat. There will be sometimes I think I've mentioned it before, there'll be sometimes like before work, if I like wake up at like 2 in the morning and I can't sleep, I'm like, all right, well, we're just gonna edit from like 2 to 5-ish in the morning, and then we're gonna get ready for work, and then we're gonna go to work, because insomnia sucks. So I feel your pain there, but I appreciate your willingness to explore building challenges. Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly almost what I'm doing for this skill fruit base, because in all honesty, like I said in the past, I could definitely just copy and paste I have my honestly any of my mega bases and copy and paste any of those designs and use those as another mega base. But I find it more fun to build things differently every time, because it's just like, all right, I already built it. It's not like I'm like building a city, you know what I mean? I don't need everything to be like the same and symmetrical and everything. Let's change things up here and there. Oh, I have them fairly regular, part of my autism, ADHD. Yeah, same here. Same here. It's like I got really bad ADHD, plus I also have like anxiety and a bunch of other crap, so what is this asking me? Asking me if I'm deleting items off my PC. Am I being hacked? Am I having my computer delete shit as we speak? Alright, I'm gonna ignore that. Sorry, didn't mean to go off tangent. But no, I feel that it's just like with ADHD, anxiety, and a whole bunch of other stuff, it's just like sleep rarely happens. Plus, in like winter when my heat's on, this apartment specifically, I don't know what it is in my like heating system, but it'll like sound like something's like winding up, and then there'll be a loud bang. So like at like 2 a.m. while I'm sleeping, I'll just hear like and it'll be like right next to my head. My bed's right next to my like vents, like not next to it, but like, let's just say this, you can hear it throughout the whole room. It's like really freaking loud. But yeah, all that combined equals no sleep for me, which is why I'm tired all the time, and which is why, chat, speaking of, that's why I got this. Memorization game on my medical condition. Hit 25. That's why my government doesn't want me. Yikes, that sucks. Yeah, I'm luckily not that bad. But I mean, if I was any worse, it probably would. I mean, I already think I have like partial narcolepsy because of it. Because I will have like spurts where it's just like in the middle of the day, where I will get like extremely tired to the point I'm like, I need to lay down or like sit down immediately. And it's like really bad. So it's just like, yeah, I feel you. So if I was any worse, I'd probably be in your same position. But I'm sorry you're in that position, Garf. I also find it funny every time I think I need to build a specific base type, you magically are working on the base type. Weird coincidence, but very handy. Hey, that's awesome. This base was a suggestion from another viewer, funny enough. Someone wanted a skill fruit mega farm base, so I figured I'd do it. Actually, this one's going to be a mixture of, I'm mainly like promoting it as a skill fruit mega base, but it's also going to be like a mega storage base. So it's, I mean, a lot of my bases are kind of like mega storage bases, but I'm going to try to set this one up in a little bit more of an organized way. So that way you can keep like everything all at this one base, and then you could also maybe like craft stuff as well. We'll see how things go, but that's kind of the goal. Most of my Palworld water map has been discovered because I fell asleep while trying to get to the big oil break. That's awesome. I mean, hey, whatever works, whatever you gotta do. Just do the old controller trick with the rubber band and just zoom and just slowly, once you hit the wall, just slowly grind on it until you get to the other corner. Yeah, I'm hoping we don't have that issue again, because I don't know what the deal with that was. It's like, I'm gonna try not to build anything so it's like 3 layers, because I think that's like the key, is you need 3 walls high in order to not like having issues spawning a floor above. But yeah, I don't know why it does that, because even if you spawn like on top of your PAL box, you shouldn't be spawning like a whole extra floor above, which is weird. But yeah, all right, chat, but let's actually go over these update notes. So it's not a lot to go over, but it is kind of like I said, there's a lot to actually discuss about future updates. So for starters, let's go to this. Welcome to Black Screen Simulator, chat, isn't it? Pogs. This is what we're doing. I need to open Steam. I need to do this. I also need to do this, I think, maybe. You're gonna do what I want. Can I full screen this? Whatever. Didn't ask. Do this. Welcome to zoomed in Steam. All right, chat, here we are. So, we have a small update. There's a change to glider pals for those who aren't aware. Mechanic adjustments. The mechanics for gliding have with the pal have been changed. Until now, you could use a certain pal as a glider. However, for this patch note, you will only be able to glide using a glider from now on. That kind of sucks, which is kind of a pain. But I will say, I personally didn't use pals as gliders. However, I do have fully upgraded glider pals, such as like Gale Claw, and I will say they're pretty insane when just like using them as a glider. So I have not seen how this update is in terms of how much the like passive buffs work compared to how they just generally worked as a glider. But that is generally the dealio with these or with this update. Also, chat, say hi to Henry. You don't really see his face, all you see is his butt, but he is here. You want to say hi with your face, or are you just gonna sit in my lap? No? Do you even care I'm streaming? Or are you just like, this is lap time? Needy cat. But yeah, it TLDR. We'll hop in and we'll test things out with Gale Claw, But just to kind of read the rest of this here, since it's literally like 2 more sentences, essentially a sentence. Glider pals will now provide a new passive partner skill effect while gliding, but the player must have the glider equipped to actually glide. They do have a big statement. I tried pulling up IGN's article to show you guys. Also, because I just punched it, figures. But because IGN can suck my ass, they decided, yeah, you can't show our website on stream. So, your boy screenshotted it, baby. But this is the statement here. I really can't read it, and I'll be honest with you guys, I wasn't gonna read it anyways, because you know, like the thing where you go and read in front of class and like there's like it's your turn to read. I always sucked at that. 1, because I always lost track of where I was. 2, because I just really suck at reading like scripts and everything. So I will leave it up for any of you guys to read. I will also make myself a little smaller, just so you guys can see that. But this is a Palworld statement. Essentially, just to kind of give you little spark notes on it. They talked about how they had to make changes due to the lawsuit. That was the change back in November, about where instead of throwing your pals out and summoning them, they just spawn by your side. And now this one, they're just saying that now they have to do this so they hopefully don't get sued. So my main thing that I'm worried about, like I said, in terms of just using glider pals, that's not a big deal for me personally. I really didn't use them too much in the first place. However, in terms of future things that might need to change, this is actually pretty concerning, all things considered. And the main reason why this is concerning is because if they already made it so one form of transportation with pals is changed, what other ones could they possibly change? Because the patent that the way to describe the patent that the reason why they had to make this update is due to rideable pals, or rideable creatures, or whatever you want to say. So in my mind, that makes me wonder about, okay, well, what about like actual rideable pals? Like, is that gonna be a problem? Are we gonna have it so we can't use any pals to ride around on? So like the mounting feature is just gonna pretty much become obsolete and be terminated from like the entire game? Or how is that gonna work? Because that's my or that's my thought process on it right now. Sorry, can't talk. But that's what I'm thinking right now, just because I don't know how much more they're gonna have to change, because I don't even know what specifically the reason why they only changed the glider pals, you know? Exactly, but I figured for like, I'm sure like Palworld isn't the first game where a creature is like your glider, you know what I mean? So, and plus I don't know like what specifically made them change that. Like, I don't know. Listen, I haven't played Pokemon in like a decade at this point, but like, I don't know any features in Pokemon where there's like use a Pokemon as a glider. I know you like fly and like fly around the map and like get around places, but that's not gliding, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think, unless someone else is more knowledgeable about Pokemon and can fill me in on maybe why they actually did this change, but I don't know why they specifically did just glider pals compared to all rideable pals, you know what I mean? So I always use glider pals. Now it just equips a glider. You don't see the pal anymore, but the glider takes on all the... Okay, so interesting. Yeah, I agree, Coral. Curse Nintendo. Also, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I agree with what everyone's saying in chat right now about Nintendo. It's just like, Nintendo sucks, man. Like, I don't know why they can't let us have nice things. Even looking broadly speaking, a ton of games, yeah, like we were just talking about. It's just like, I'm sure Palworld isn't the first game to have a glider. And like I said, it's just, in my mind specifically, like I said, I'm very out of date with Pokemon features and stuff, but is there any Pokemon that you specifically use like as a glider? Because like the only open world Pokemon game that I know of is Arceus. I think it's Arceus, whatever, the one with the future and prehistoric Dinosaur car things. And honestly, that's why I'm kind of more surprised that they're attacking the glider pals over rideable pals, because I figured that Nintendo would have some sort of Scarlet and Violet, thank you. But I figured because of that, that would be the patent that they would be trying to go for, aka all other rideable pals in the game would be the problem. So that's why, once again, I'm surprised about gliders, because in my mind that doesn't make sense, because there's nothing in Pokemon that's glider related, unless once again there's just something I'm missing. Let's see. Arc has gliders. Nintendo has their anti-consumer. I just saw Darren's thing. I'm assuming that's supposed to say in, but in Scarlet and Violet, or is Scarlet and Violet legendary that you can glide around? So there's some sort of box legendary thing that you can glide around with. But once again, I'm sure that, like, first off, like, considering that it's in Scarlet and Violet, I'm sure that, like, they're not the first company to like use some sort of creature to glide around on. Heck, I'm pretty sure, like, who just said that, Nightmare, I'm pretty sure Arc, if I remember correctly, has some sort of little flying creature that you can use as like a glider or something. So it's like, I don't know, I feel like, are they gonna go after Arc and everyone else now? It's just like, it feels like, once again, it's like very difficult that they're like, really, the only reason they're specifically going after Palworld for this compared to any other game is because the creatures look similar. It's like the same cutesy style, so it's just like, it's so dumb. Pokemon games look so bad, and that's yeah, literally. I mean, a lot of it had to do with like it being on the Switch, which was like an old console. Listen, when it already came out, it was already on like mid to low tier hardware. And then like give it 10 years, it's like, and then they're trying to make things bigger and better. It's like, no duh, dude. It's like trying to work with a PC from like 2017. I just had an alarm go off telling me it's 9 o'clock. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of stupid and silly all at the same time, and I personally don't understand. I mean, I'm sure the Palworld has logical reason, like was it Darren or whatever, whoever said that about the yeah, Darren, about the glider stuff for Pokemon. If there is something that they have, I mean, sure, but I'm sure, once again, there's plenty of other games that came before that, before Scarlet and Violet, that use some sort of mechanic like that, including Arc. Nintendo either needs to screw off or, yeah, agreed. They're also trying to raise base price to $80. Unfortunately, Darren, that seems like that's like a big company move, which in all reality, I don't know if that's like, I don't know how, listen, I don't know anything about like large business and how that like operates and what's like whatever in insider stuff, but it's like, because Microsoft also recently announced that they're bumping their prices of their games as well to 80. So it seems like it's an all game like company price increase. So it's not just going to be Pokemon. They just happen to get the brunt of the force because they were the first ones that announced. But it seems like Microsoft has already followed suit or is going to follow suit. And then I'm sure Sony and every other company is going to follow suit. But that is the unfortunate part about tariffs and all this other kind of BS and just general inflation. Pokemon game. Yeah, I already said, looked at that one. Palworld took all the Pokemon complaints and made a better game. Literally, I mean, that's what I say. I personally have enjoyed Palworld more than I've enjoyed any Pokemon game in a decade, which then again, I haven't played a Pokemon game in a decade, but that's not the point. The point is that the reason why I stopped playing Pokemon games because they stopped becoming fun. In my opinion, I got kind of bored of them. So it's just like now, and they're, from what I've only heard, their games are only worse and worse. So yeah, I agree. Palworld just making, it's not Pocket Pair's fault that they're just doing stuff people want, and then Pokemon's too lazy to actually do. I blame the fan base compare. Yeah, and actually that's what even Pocket Pair has said in the past, is like they hate that people say Pokemon with guns, because that's pretty much what got them in hot water in the first place. Because I will say, the hype for Palworld definitely would have not been as much there if it wasn't essentially advertised as Pokemon guns. And it's not even their fault, it's just how people explain the game, because that's just, people want a simple explanation. They don't want like a big long explanation of a game when they can literally say, you know, Pokemon, it's that, but you run around with guns. That is way easier than being like, Palworld is an open world survival game where you have these cute and cuddly creatures that are around you and fight alongside you and work at your base and all this stuff, and then blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, it's just easier to say Pokemon with guns, which once again, our faults, honestly. Sorry, Pocket Pair, if you're watching this. I know you definitely watch my streams, but yeah, that's kind of the community's fault for describing it that way. So, but yeah, I mean, listen, chat, the less we describe it like that, I mean, it's not going to do anything at this point, but the less we describe it like that, the better. We need to make sure Palworld is kind of, it's always going to have that kind of lingering shadow over it, but we can always try to step into the sunlight a little bit, you know? Nope, just Palworld, which is one thing Pocket Players bring up in the lawsuit, the specific targeting of their game compared to... Yeah, exactly. It's just like, they're definitely being like targeted specifically. And once again, it's mostly because they got so much spotlight because people were saying this is going to be a better Pokemon game with guns. Because that's what people were also saying too, that it's just going to be a better Pokemon game. Which, like we all said, they're not wrong. And it's still in early access, which is a whole nother topic I could go into, that I personally despise early access games coming out 3 years, like half developed before it's like fully out, and then by the time it's fully out, no one cares because they released a half-made piece of garbage. Luckily, Palworld, sorry, Pocket Pair and Palworld, I keep mixing up those names, but luckily Palworld has not had that issue. Even on day one launch, yes, of course it had issues. I feel like any game day one launch is gonna have even some issues, especially with how many people were downloading and playing it. But compared to a lot of other games, at least it was playable and usable. The only thing that was a little scuffed was the like multiplayer function, but like most other things about the game worked pretty well day one. And once again, still in early access, so I think Nintendo lost like several copyrights and patents here in the US. At least I thought I saw something like that. I mean, they might be trying to renew them. That's always possible, but it wouldn't surprise me either, because that's the thing too. It's just like all patents and lawsuits in like different countries and stuff, like the fact you have to do it between multiple countries is just more of a pain. So it's like, but unfortunately Pokemon and Nintendo kind of have that power in reach, so we'll see what kind of happens here. But I still have hopes that things will work out in the end. But yeah, that is kind of a major blow. Like I said, it's a little blow with this specific update, but once again, it makes me worry about what other future changes they might have to do, considering that, like I keep saying, how everyone describes the patent is rideable pals. I kind of read the actual patent myself. I don't remember every word, every specific detail or whatever, word by word, but I do remember the general idea of it. So it's like, but yeah, the fact that people keep describing it as like rideable pals and what I know of the patent, it is a little worrisome what might happen with other like future rideable pals, especially if they're trying to go off of like the Scarlet and Violet, like riding the legendary pal or whatever. But we'll see how things go with that. Let's see, Palworld is the better Pokemon at this point, essentially. Pretty much Coral. Game bubble will burst and everything will probably deflate again. Yeah, I'm assuming. Problem is like a lot of people say about this stuff is like people assume that once the tariffs BS is done that things will go down, but I have a feeling a lot of the prices will stay the same because people have done what's it called? They've done tests where it's like once people easily get used to like changes like this, so like in like 6 months this will just be, or like not even 6 months, this will just be the norm and people will forget all about it. That's what's unfortunately going to happen, and then like we're not all getting paid more, so it's like, yeah, maybe like basic necessities, but like anything else you wanted to buy, that stuff's probably going to still stay up pretty highly priced for a long time, until it's literally at a point where all these businesses are like, oh wait, no one can literally afford our products, so we're losing money because we're producing this stuff that no one can buy. Then stuff will probably start dropping down again, and that'll be chaos. But I am not into politics in any way, shape, or form, Chad. This is just my thought process on things. So yeah, we can hope for the best. That's all I can say. All the layouts will lead to small new studios built by laid off devs working together, create better art, unrestricted by their old big corp. Yeah, I mean, not to get in once again into like big like political BS and like other whatnot, but I'm just saying, with how these businesses are treating like retail businesses are treating their employees and stuff, and how they're running their businesses, it would not surprise me if like at some point people are going to be working 40 plus hours. Like, I mean, most people are these days anyways, but like probably like easily 40 plus hours and still not be making enough for like rent and everything. And then at that point, I think just like every business is just going to have a huge strike, and like there's just going to be chaos, in my personal opinion. I would prefer not chaos to happen because that means people die. But like, yeah, it's just like at a certain point, it's like, at least from my experience, it's like living is not cheap, and especially with all this stuff going on, it is not getting any cheaper. So we'll see how things go. Also, welcome to the stream, Atox. Since I see you were here, I was kind of going through everything, but welcome to stream. I'm gonna try to speedrun through the rest of these chats, and then I think for the most part we're gonna hop into the game. And I actually kind of want to just see, because like you said, I assumed it's pretty much just gonna act like the same as how the pals acted as the gliders, but just no, you have to have a glider on hand. But I'm kind of curious to just test that out. Oh, they also need, yeah, okay, so I just read that one. So I will say Palworld does have Microsoft support, which is kind of huge. I mean, they got more of Sony's support than Microsoft, but it's like they've definitely made a name for themselves so far. And as long as, once again, like Nintendo doesn't like 100% like crush them into the ground, I don't think Palworld will like fully go away. It seems like it's getting too big at this point to just like disappear completely. I wonder if this is why we haven't seen. I mean, that's what I always kind of tell people. It's just like about like these updates. I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful for Pocket Pair releasing the updates that they have, but I'm also like very impressed and surprised that they have released the amount of updates and stuff that they have, because once again, this entire time since whenever the first initial lawsuit dropped in like August or November or whatever it was, like whenever that happened, pretty much like they've been fighting that lawsuit ever since, and that's cost them a lot of like time, resources, and everything. It's just like, it's impressive that they've given us what they have during that time. So I'm assuming they probably had a lot of that already in the works before the lawsuit even started, but we probably would have also gotten a lot of this faster, or potentially faster, if there wasn't the lawsuit going on. But yeah, long story short, Nightmare, there's a good chance that yes, the lawsuit has definitely slowed down all sorts of work for Palworld and everything. Legolas is it is. Welcome, Atox, like I said. No worries. Then we're gonna be streaming for a little bit here, so you're totally fine coming in a little late. Just gonna scroll through, kind of catch up with this, but other than that, we're gonna kind of move on. Also, welcome Visual. Glad you can make it to the stream. Yeah, exactly. So we were on the same page then, Darren. I was just like over explaining things like I always do. Not just on stream, but in real life. I mean, Nintendo. Yeah, just hating on Nintendo and talking about how this patch sucks. You'll get there eventually, Atox. You'll get there. I agree. Justice for Palworld, Atox. Let's see. I just want to know what Pokemon games allows players to use Pokemon. That's what I was just saying. We were talking about that. Apparently some like legendary box or something. I don't know the details. Like I said, I haven't played a Pokemon game in literally like a decade. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But like I was mentioning before, if they're making it so glider pals have to get taken out, that makes me worried for all rideable pals, because like we talked about, Scarlet and Violet has their legendary pals that you literally use as like a motorcycle. So if they kind of count that as similar to stuff as like just using a rideable mount, like they're gonna try to hit them for that. But then again, once again, Arc also has that same exact feature, and once again, same with like the glider dinosaurs. I'm pretty sure there's one in there in Arc. So it's like, once again, it's Nintendo specifically targeting Pocket Pair because they can, because both of them use cute and cuddly creatures to help fight along your or assist you throughout the game. So I don't know, like we said, dumb and silly, and I hate Nintendo for it, so I'm personally not supporting them. But like I said, though, I'm hoping it doesn't screw up too much more about the game, but I don't think Palworld will like fully go away. I'm just hoping they don't mess up rideable pals. Gotcha. See, I was looking at a few articles, but they all said the same thing, Garth. It's like they just kind of just said the same BS. It's just like, oh, well, Nintendo they had to take this out because of the lawsuit, and they didn't explain what or the reasoning behind it. They just said it got taken out. Because every article needs to just get it out, their article out first. Every news site. Pokemon Company is presumably upset since you can glide using in Palworld. Yes, can you? See, once again, I don't know much about Pokemon, but I figure there was some sort of Pokemon mechanic that made it specifically for that, but hopefully, once again, they don't target rideable pals in general. Yeah, exactly. But once again, the rideable pals, that one's gonna be tough because There are so many games out there that use rideable pals, or like not pals, but like creatures. Like having an animal as a mount is not like Nintendo's like brainchild. Fun fact, people have been riding on animals for a very long time, chat. There's these these kind of obscure creatures. You might have heard of them. It's called a horse. We've been riding those suckers for a long time. So unless you plan on like going and suing people from medieval times or even before that, you plan on suing the Egyptians for using camels and stuff. I'm sorry if that's racist or offensive. I don't actually know if camels were in Egypt at that time, but whatever they were using, Hanses, like, unless they plan on literally like suing all of history, like, it's gonna be really hard for them to take away rideable pals, or rideable mounts. But at the same time, it's Nintendo, so you never know. Well, I'm sure Pokemon Company doesn't care. Like, there's probably like 8 people that work at that whole, or at least like the Game Freak side of things, like the actual game department side of things. There's like 8 people that work there. Like, of course they don't care. That was mainly Pocket Pair's defense because they pointed out that many games are using their patents, so why don't they go after them? Exactly. It's like they're gonna keep using that defense because it's like it seems very unfair because once again the games have a very similar aesthetic that Nintendo is targeting them so hard. It's like, what, no other company can make a cutesy game and like once again have cutesy creatures help you. Every single game where creatures are helping you, they gotta be the most ugly mofos on the planet. It's gotta be a literal dinosaur. Like, it's stupid. All streets and other transport vehicles are based on how wild horses are. Yeah. Nintendo's gonna be like, your character can jump. Mario does that too. Yeah, exactly. They should literally make it so when you jump, they do like the Super Mario jump in Palworld, just to say fuck you, Nintendo. Welcome. Oh my gosh, my eyes. Is it Drac or Drake? It's either that or I'm gonna call you Duck. But welcome. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. It would not surprise me, Nightmare. Nintendo just does what they feel like. Drac, see, that's even better because my eyes are garbage. Drac, but welcome. But yeah, Nightmare. Nintendo has done a lot of things. Like, some things are more justifiable than others. Like, the people who like sell like simulations of Pokemon games or whatever, like pirated versions or whatever. Like, that's a little bit more justifiable. But this whole Pocket Pair stuff and Palworld is just ridiculous in my opinion. That's sumo, mamma mia, literally. It's just, I don't know. I think it's silly, but all right. Well, I've had this on screen for long enough. If you haven't read it by this point, I don't know how else to say it nicely. You probably have a reading problem because this has been on the screen for like literally like half an hour. So if you can't get through like 4 paragraphs in 30 minutes, you might actually be illiterate. I'm sorry to tell you this. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna actually hop into Palworld now. That's not Palworld. I lied. Apparently my game is We'll see if this is gonna work, chat, because my game has actually been bugging out recently, and I might not even be able to play right now. Because what'll happen is it'll just do the thing where it'll like say Palworld's running, but then it'll just be a black screen and nothing will happen. Sometimes it'll fix itself, but sometimes it doesn't. I'm gonna I do this. Oh gosh, I think my entire computer I think just crashed. Maybe did it? No. What is happening? I can literally do nothing on my stream. What is happening? Chat, are we still live? I mean, I see you guys moving, but like I can't, my computer is like imploding. We might need to restart stream. Because I don't know what's happening right now, to be honest with you. It's like I can't touch my OBS. Okay, you guys can see that at least. Maybe we can make this work. I don't know what's happening right now. I literally can't. I don't know how I'm gonna end stream because I literally can't click OBS and close it. What just happened? Now I can't see OBS at all. What is going on right now? What is happening with my computer? Hello, OBS. Can I have you back, please? Can I see you stream and chat? What is going on? I know you guys can see me. I think so. Can I have OBS back? What is going on? Like, actually, for realsies. Well, I want my OBS open back up. Hello, can you open back up? Just that again. No, I don't want you to launch. I want you to show me my OBS. What is going on? Chat, I literally can't see you guys right now. Like, my OBS is just like running in the background and I can't show it again. Why can't I? I'm not sure what to do right now. What is going on? I've never had this ever. Like, I've actually never had this happen where my OBS just will not show up on my monitor. Like, the problem is, too, is, like, I literally can't see what you guys are saying because my chat's in my OBS. So I'm literally just sitting here. I'm staring at my monitor's chat. Like, I can't. I'm clicking OBS. No, I don't want you to launch. I want you to show me the window that's actively open. Hello? I see you trying to show it to me. Why won't you show me? Okay, what is happening? It's like, I can like hover over it. I can like see the monitor sitting here, but I can't do anything. What is going on? Chat, I literally think I'm gonna just have to like shut down my computer because I literally can't open OBS and I can't like close stream or anything. I genuinely don't know what is happening right now. Hello? I've never had this happen before. I've never had it where I literally can't like open a window that's already running. Chad, if you can see me, we're gonna restart stream here because I literally can't access my OBS. It literally will not let me. So I don't know what's happening. But we're going to... What if I close everything? If I close everything, will it work? No? There's nothing? There's nothing? Cool. Chat, I'm gonna shut down my computer because I literally can't do anything. I can't look at... I can play the game, but I literally can't talk to you guys. That's the problem. It's like... I literally don't know what is happening. Well, if you guys are still there, I'm gonna restart my computer by hard restart, or just shutting it down. And I'll see you guys in a minute or two, hopefully, because I don't know what's happening. Can I shut down? Hey, weird. Cancel. OBS is currently active. Or streams will shut down. Do you want to exit? Depends. Do you want to show me my stream?